It is November 8th, 1942. Somewhere in the darkness of the Western Mediterranean, nearly 700 Allied ships cut through the water in silence. Operation Torch, the largest amphibious landing the world has ever seen, is about to begin. For the first time in this war, American soldiers step onto the soil of North Africa. Their boots sink into the sand of Morocco and Algeria, beaches they cannot find on most maps they own. These men are not veterans. Most have never heard a shot fired in anger. They come from Kansas, from Ohio, from Georgia, young men thrust into a theater of war, with a learning curve measured in blood. The strategic logic is sound. Squeeze Rommel's Afrika Korps from the west, while Montgomery presses from the east. Trap the Desert Fox between two armies. Finish the North African campaign by spring. But logic and reality diverge the moment boots touch sand. The French colonial garrison at Oran resists. Fighting breaks out. The landings are contested. The Americans' first lesson begins before they can even find their bearings. By January 1943, the Americans push east into Tunisia. The terrain is nothing like what the manuals described. Jagged ridgelines, dry riverbeds, and mountain passes that funnel entire divisions into killing corridors. Eisenhower's II Corps occupies a sprawling, fragile front. The lines are thin. Supply is stretched. Communication between Allied commanders, American, British, French, is clumsy, tangled in ego and misunderstanding. On the other side of the Atlas, Erwin Rommel is watching. His Afrika Korps is battered from El Alamein, retreating westward, but Rommel is not finished. Not yet. He sees what the Americans cannot. Their lines are overextended, their commanders overconfident, their troops untested. He begins to plan. The first blow falls in late January at Kasserine Pass. German panzers slice through an American position without slowing down. The lesson is absorbed, but not quickly enough. A harder blow is coming. Rommel and General von Arnim argue over the shape of it, but the target is clear. Kasserine Pass, a 2-kilometer gap in the Grand Dorsal Mountains. Take it, and the road west opens. Take it, and the Americans break. February 14th, 1943. Valentine's Day. The Germans call it Operation Frühlingswind, Spring Wind. Panzers roll before dawn. Von Arnim's forces hit Sidi, a small crossroads town where 2 American armored battalions wait in isolated positions on low hills. The Germans encircle them with practiced efficiency. American tanks move out to break the encirclement. They are met by 80-day anti-tank guns positioned on the high ground, a trap the Americans have never faced in combat. The 1st Armored Division loses over 100 tanks in 2 days. The ground is littered with burning Shermans. Survivors fall back through the desert. By February 19th, German columns are advancing on Kasserine Pass itself. The American defenders, a scratch force of engineers, artillery, and infantry, dig in at the narrow throat of the pass. Rocky walls rise on both sides. The ground shakes with artillery. The first German assault is beaten back. Then a second. For a brief moment, the line holds. But the line is not enough. Rommel arrives personally to take command of the push. He is irritable, in pain from illness, and absolutely certain the Americans will break if struck hard enough. February 20th, 1943. Just after noon, Rommel orders a combined assault. Infantry on the ridges, tanks through the center of the pass. Artillery hammers the American positions for an hour. Then the panzers move. They come through the narrow gorge in columns, hull down against the smoke, their engines a low mechanical thunder that the American soldiers hear before they see anything. The defenders hold for less than an hour. The line breaks, units dissolve, communications collapse, officers lose contact with their men, Men lose contact with their officers. Vehicles clog the road heading west in a chaos of retreat. Trucks, jeeps, half-tracks, all moving in the same direction. Away. The Germans pour through the gap. In the hours that follow, Rommel's forces fan out west of the pass, striking toward Tabesa, the major Allied supply base, and north toward Thala. At Thala, a small British force and a single American artillery battalion dig in and refuse to move. They are pounded through the night. They hold. At Tabesa, American engineers and supply troops grab rifles and face the oncoming Germans. They hold too. Barely. Rommel pauses. His supply lines are thin. His orders from above are contradictory. Field Marshal Kasserine limits his advance. By February 22nd, Rommel halts and orders a withdrawal back through the pass. The Americans have been hit. Badly. But they have not been destroyed. The final toll is sobering. In 2 weeks of fighting, Second Corps has lost nearly 6,500 men, killed, wounded, or captured. Almost 200 tanks are gone, hundreds of vehicles, artillery pieces, and tons of supplies. Allied commanders hold a reckoning. General Lloyd Fredendall, commander of the WWII Corps, had directed the battle from an underground bunker 60 miles behind the front, a fact not lost on the men who fought and died. He is removed from command. In his place, Eisenhower sends George S. Patton. Patton arrives in Tunisia like a force of weather. He imposes discipline. He reorganizes. He trains. He demands that every soldier, from cook to tanker, wear his helmet and gaiters at all times. A symbolic message. This army is a fighting force, not a garrison. The change is not comfortable, but it is necessary. And the lessons of Kasserine, the hard, bloody lessons about anti-tank doctrine, about combined arms, about the difference between exercise and war, are being written into new field manuals, even before the smoke clears. Rommel himself leaves Africa in March 1943, never to return. He is ill. He is exhausted. And he knows, though he does not say it plainly, that the campaign is lost. The Afrika Korps surrenders in May 1943. Nearly 275,000 Axis troops march into captivity, more prisoners than at Stalingrad. But the significance of Kasserine runs deeper than one battle. It is the moment the United States Army looks at itself honestly. Green troops led by cautious, distant commanders fighting with doctrine that had not been tested. Kasserine strips away every comfortable assumption. What comes out of the wreckage is different. The army that fights at Sicily in July 1943 is not the same army that stumbled into that pass in February. It is harder, faster, and far more dangerous. History tends to remember Kasserine as an American defeat, and it is. But defeat, when it does not destroy, teaches what victory cannot. Rommel gave America's army a lesson it would not forget, and he paid for it, in the end, on the beaches of Normandy, where the men he helped forge came back to finish the war. If this story stayed with you, subscribe so you don't miss what comes next. Because next time, 275,000 soldiers lay down their weapons on one beach. What happened next changed everything. The fall of Tunisia, coming soon.